Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 96 of FTB Interactions, where I'm currently cooking up a bunch of stuff. That's at least some semblance of the plan. Last episode, we didn't really get a lot done. I was playing with chickens. I thought there would be more to it, but there wasn't as much to it as I thought. Apparently those chickens, after doing a little bit of research, have something to do with like antimatter and other things. Like, I think they have to be like touching antimatter when you kill them in order to get certain items. Neutronium, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I really don't super follow exactly how well those chickens play into the roles, but like, you know, I don't know that there's a quest for them. And if there are, then I'm just a derp who didn't find it. But I looked and I couldn't really find a good tutorial on like what you're supposed to do with those chickens. But apparently they have something to do with something. I don't know what. So today, I'm cooking up some new stuff. So as you can see, I've got a bunch of auto-crafting coming along nicely here. It's doing its thing. Can you? Just a little bit? Yeah, you can. Nice. In my inventory is a bunch of stuff because I want more engines. I was smelting lots and 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 a whole stinking whole bunch of tungsten. And guess what? We ran into a power problem, sort of. I don't think it's a problem with power generation, like EU per tick. I think it's amps that I'm producing. So I had to turn this dude off. Let's turn him back on so he's allowed to run again. Yeah, so he's running out of energy. Because I want to say only 3 of these Lapotron crystals were being powered. So I'm suspecting that means that this guy produces 3 amps, would be my guess. Either that or another amp was in use. I haven't entirely figured it out. Like, does it tell me how many amps are being produced here? I don't know that it does. It just tells me that it's producing EU, but I don't think it tells me how many amps. So the problem is we need 4 amps for this to run, and we really only had 3 amps coming in. So as a result, we didn't really have enough power to keep it going for long. So eventually it runs out. So I'm like, you know what? Now's a good enough time as any to go ahead and build that second diesel generator that I've been talking about making for a while now. So I think we're going to do that right now. And then I want to look into what's involved in making that assembly line, because I think that would be cool. Right? So you should be ready to craft now. Yay, diesel engine. Thank you. And that means we can bring you outside. And we're going to want some stuff. But this should be really easy to put together, right? So that's logistics satellite pipe. That's fluid provider. I want fluid suppliers. So we should probably request those. Fluid request suppliers. Let's get like 8 of those. It's thinking about it. Oh, we're missing paper. Oh, we're missing paper. Where do we get paper from? It's something dried. Is it? I don't think it's sugarcane that gets dried, right? No, it's plant fibers, which is shears with any kind of flour. Okay. I feel like... Can it also do saplings, though? Can't it also do saplings for plant fibers? I feel like it can, right? I feel like that's the thing. It's funny, like, these things that you just make, like, a ton of, and then, oh, right, I need to automate that at some point, and I still haven't. And I still haven't. Yeah, you can totally use saplings here, so that's cool. And then a few more shears go into the thing. And then a few more shears go into the thing. Good enough. I could probably make some more shears. What do I have that I could make shears out of that like would be cool? That's 1190. That seems like a decent amount. Enhanced shears, obsidian shears, huh? Oh, right, my favorite. Obsidian shears have a decent amount of durability, but that requires flint shears. Yeah, that seems like a decent amount of durability, right? That seems like a good time. Does that work? Yeah, it super does. Yeah, it super does. Nice. Now, which one do I insert into? I forget. I think this is the insert, right? Do your thing, guy. Or is that the output? I forget. Is that the insert? Oh, it totally is. Nice. There we go. Everybody make me a bunch of paper, please. How much do we need? 19. All right, that'll be enough. And then once we have the 19 that we need, we can try that again. Fluid supplier. We said we were going to ask for 8, even though we don't really need that many. It's all good. All right, so we should see a bunch of stuff happening here. Beautiful. All right, cool. So let's build the thing downstairs, and then we'll see how many resources we have left. We'll want at least one more of these, right? So remember, we made this side open so that we could share the sides here. So realistically, this is the left side of the multi-block structure. So we want to place these dudes right here like so. Cool. And then we should be able to do like that with this guy here. So we're sharing that stuff, right? And then you guys and then this is going to be an insert into the top. These guys will be 2 inserts, and then that'll be an output, right? So we want an EV output hatch, and we want some LV input hatches, right? So LV input hatch, EV, or yeah, you know what I mean. LV hatch for input of fluids, fluid capacity. So we want 3 of these. And then we also want an EV output for RF. And that would be U. Cool. Nice. And everything over here is behaving itself? Yeah, pretty much for the most part. You guys are all being good? Yeah, you really look like you are, actually. Nice. Alloy smelting all the things. Doing all the plate stuff. Beautiful, actually. I love it. Look at it. It's all cycling into this. That is cool beans. Why? Oh, yeah, you're out of energy. Right. So that is a good example of why we're doing this. This guy, see how he's down to 3 things left? So we have to pause this with our rubber mallet working disabled to allow him to build up energy again, right? And then that's the reason we're adding on, right? I was kind of curious to see how long that big multi-block power gen thing would work for me, and now we have a pretty good answer, right? Now we know that the time is... It lasts for a while, to be fair, because we have a lot of batteries in there, but eventually they do run out. So having a second generator is going to help mitigate that problem effectively. Cool. So I don't know why I have 8 electric motors from EV. I don't know what... Is that a quest reward I might have gotten just now? I don't know. I was knocking out quests, frankly. I was just like, you know, doing the questy thingy. It's all good, though. All right, so you are making your fluid suppliers. Everybody else is being happy and doing their job? I think so. Look at that. Awesome. Wow. He really quickly burned through all the things he needed to make. That's awesome. Look how fast my whole auto-crafting system is going now. It's great. I'm loving it. Logistics pipes is like the slowdown. Come on, logistics pipes. Let's go. You got all the things. I think there's an upgrade I can add to these result pipes that will increase the speed at which they extract things. I think. Isn't that what the advanced extraction upgrade is for? So if you've got a bunch of stuff in you, I guess we'll see what happens if we get a bunch more. But I think advanced extraction upgrade is what you're all about. I think that makes it so you can extract like a stack of stuff at a time. I think. Let me try that real quick. Red alloy wires. Like if I wanted 12 of those, right, and we requested that, it should send red alloys over here. And that should be like a nice example of how to do that. Is that all that stuff? I think so. Yep, copper and redstone making its way over. So previously it would extract 1 at a time. Now it looks like it's doing 2 at a time. So maybe I need multiples of those if we want to, but I mean, that's definitely faster. So maybe we need more than 1 of those? I don't know. I'm not going to worry too much about it. It doesn't hurt to have them in there for sure. All right, cool. So now there's your EV hatch, right? LV hatch for fluids. Input hatch is definitely what we want. and our logistics fluid supplier, and then we also want Enderium cables. Nice. So I think the quest reward actually gave me enough to make even yet another one of these, which would be cool. Yeah, that's kind of neat. Do you think... just checking here. Wonder if I did top and bottom rather than sides. Because realistically, we need 3 fluid inputs, right? So if I moved those, that might be cool. What if we tried that real quick? So these guys would be your fluid inputs. Right? And then this would be the fluid input. And this would be this. And that's cool. Are you formed? Yes. All right. And then what we're going to want is more, you know, of the junky, you know, unrouted pipe dudes. I like this plan, right? Sounds like a good plan. So then you guys are going to be input hatches for fluids. And it doesn't super matter which ones we put where. Logistics fluid supplier, right? So you're going to be the nitro diesel, right? That's the one that's Starlight, yes. Nitro diesel. And you're going to be oxygen. Cool. Beautiful. So they should now be connected. And look, we have stuff coming. I think. It's thinking about it. Hey, look, nitro diesel and oxygen. Beautiful. And then up here for this input hatch, right? So we'll have you followed by you, and you're going to be lubricant 8,000. I forget what I made this, but it's probably about the same. Doesn't matter. We'll get lubricant, and then this guy's going to be allowed to run more. Running perfectly. Beautiful. And you know what that means is now we're not using this side of the machine at all, which means we can do that again. And we can continue this pattern. So I think we've got enough for one more. Well, no, we need a few more, right? Because we need, I think, 5 of these and probably a handful of these. But we're actually really close to having enough for another one. Should I just get a third in here and call it a day? I kind of like that plan. Right, so we need 2 engine intake casings, right? That's it, 2 engine intake casings. And that would be cool. I think we should do that. 2 engine intake casings and another diesel engine, please. I think that's what we'll do, right? So we want input hatch times 3. EV output for energy. We're going to want two of these and a diesel engine. Okay, lots of auto crafting going into place. This is like a really good stress test of my entire auto crafting system. We will really see if there's anything that's really broken at this point as a result. So we will be right back once I babysit this for a few minutes, and I'll let you guys know if everything runs smoothly. But I'm hoping this whole setup will yield to a smoother run, and that would be cool. All right, so one thing always gets gummed up over here, and luckily it's a pretty easy fix. The nano CPU wafers, this recipe, was putting glowstone into this fluid extractor, but that dumps into the advanced mixer next to it, not into the chemical reactor here that we needed it to. So I just moved that recipe over here, and that's it. So that, I think, solves one of my common gum-ups. The other thing is the cutting machine is a little bit slow, but it's rarely used, right? Because it makes so many of those wafers that I'm not super worried about it. Yeah, see, it makes a lot of those wafers, so we'll see. So what are you waiting on, buddy? Oh, there you go. Cool, he's satisfied now. And you're waiting on something too. I think he just started crafting. Beautiful. So everything's really running pretty quickly and smoothly, and I'm very happy about that. So, yeah, let's see. Are you ready, diesel engine? Not quite yet. We're waiting on a few things left. And then I'll do all the crafting, and then we'll build the new engine. All right, check that out. All right, so diesel engine check. We wanted 2 more of these. Check. And then we wanted the EV output. Check. LV input hatch times 3. Sweet. I think that's everything, right? Guess we'll find out. So you come over here, EV output here. And then input 1, 2. Psst, this is the part. Oh, you're a provider pipe. Well, that's why. I was like, hey, why that ain't working? Supplier is what we want here. Okay. So infused nitro diesel times 8. Oxygen times 8. Provider, supplier, lubricant times 8. Nice. Oxygen and infused is already there. Lubricant's on his way, so he's going to get stuck in a moment. But we can hook you up to here now. And you're making all the powers. And that's going to be a lot of EU, like a real lot. That should be like stupid amounts of EU that we will never have to worry about EV tiered power again. I feel like that's pretty good. I feel like that's pretty good. Yeah, look, we're not even breaking a sweat. That is cool. And remember, these things self-throttle, so we don't have to worry about them wasting power, right? They kind of self-throttle themselves. So we really don't have a lot to worry about here. Yeah, 3 of those. And imagine how many resources we just saved by making sure that they touch. That is what's up. All right. So now that we got all that power cooking, which I'm very excited about, let's put all this stuff away for a minute. And now we can go back to talking about what we were talking about earlier, which is the IV tier stuff. So how are we for tungsten? That's a really good question. Let's charge up my leggings. How are we for tungsten? Tungsten, we are at 82 ingots. Really? That's it? Oh my goodness, that feels like a really small number of ingots. How are you doing cooking up the tungsten dust? You're making more now because I got you power again. You're doing okay on tungsten dust as well. So you guys just keep it going. This is what I've been doing. A little bit manual, but not terrible, right? A little bit manual, but not terrible. More tungstate, which is cool. Naquita, enriched naquita, cool. And your tungstate, good. Keep it going, tungstate. All right, as long as that stuff keeps processing, we're cool. So let's look at what we actually need for this giant multi-block assembly line, dude, right? So you're the guy we're gonna need to call home. So you need a lot of things. So you need a bunch of solid steel machine casings. Right? You need a bunch of assembly line casings. And you need a bunch of reinforced glass, which I think we already have on our autocraft list. And then you need an assembly line with more assembler. Great machine casings. They're great! And then energy input hatches. And that's about it. Wow, that's a lot of energy input hatches. I'm just curious, like, how... I hope this thing's really fast. I hope it's really fast. Because that would be cool. And now here's a thing, though. Assembly line, right? So they replace... Oh, these are input buses, and... So these are all input buses. These are solid state. These are solid steel. I'm assuming some of these can be fluid-based? Because an assembly line is going to have to do fluids, right? I would assume that to be the case. Right? Because an assembly line can make pretty much all the things that an assembly can make, right? Yeah, so it can totally take in fluids, assembly lines. I'm assuming it can do all the lower tier things as well, right? Like, it's not only going to make the top tier stuff. I hope. But we'll see. But it'll get me towards some of the ridiculousness that we need to get towards. Huh. Neato. All right. Yeah, let's see what's involved in all these shenanigans. So first off, we need the assembly line, right? So let's see what we don't know how to make from the assembly line. We probably don't know how to make stainless steel casings, assembler machine casings, and robot arms IV. These might need... So you need pistons, but more importantly, you need electric motors, which the best way to make would be in an assembler, but it needs an IV tiered assembler, right? So we're going to want an IV battery machine, insane voltage battery buffer. We'll probably want 16x. I'm thinking it's going to need some of this stuff. And then we're also going to want Lapatronic energy orbs, which will be your IV tiered energy orb. So my thoughts are, let's get the batteries in the battery block. We'll probably, like we did before, start with 4. And then once we've got that, what I think it's stellar alloy is the wiring that we need. For the lossless, yeah, stellar alloy has a loss per block of 0. So we're going to want stellar alloy cables as well. Do you still know how to make those? Apparently, yes. I forget how they're made, but, you know, we're making them. It is... Wow, I have no idea. Because I never made arc furnaces, right? Oh, yeah, that's right. They're made stellar dust. It's a mixer of this stuff. Oh, that ain't bad, actually. That ain't bad. We got that stuff. For some reason, I thought Nether Stars was involved, but I must be wrong. Cool. So you're actually completing those crafts. Perfect. Cool. So that won't be too bad. And let's just see if stellar alloy wire has any kind of trickery to it. Nope, standard stuff there. How about the stellar alloy cables, though? That, silicon rubber, styrene, regular rubber. That's cool, too. That's cool, too. It just uses the regular rubber bit. All right. All right, I like that. So let me get this stuff programmed in. That all should be fine for now. Right, so wire mill. I don't think wire mill had stellar alloys, right? I don't think so. Wow, we actually have finished up our crafting buffer. Haha, look at that. Cool. So you become 2 stellar wires. Yep. Wow, that was a screen. And then you are going to be, you become this, right? Whoop. Yes. Yep, stellar oil wire. Cool. Now tungsten. We know how to make tungsten steel wires, and we know how to make tungsten wires. Cool. So what I want to do is we're going to need 16x wires. We're going to need 4 of them. Or 4 of them. 4 16x would be 64 wires, right? So that's what we're going to want. We're going to want 64 wires if we want to do an IV battery buffer with 16 in it, which I think we should do, right? Because like the only other option would be to do like a 9 slaughter, and that would cut down on the tungsten wires a little bit. It would be like half, but I think it's worth doing. So let's request that. And that's going to, you know, slightly impact the amount of tungsten we have, but we're cooking up more as we speak, so it'll be fine. So everybody come do your thing. And then we can combine this and make everybody happy, right? Wow, look how fast it goes. I love it. It's beautiful. All right, so I'm going to put you here. Do I want to teach you how to make... I probably want some more crafting tables and crafting logistics pipes. Let's get like 10 more of those. Coated circuit boards and paper. Really? Another thing I don't have? That's crazy. Well, I know I don't have paper, but how am I out of coated circuit boards? That seems weird to me. Is that something that I had on AutoCraft, or is that something I just made a ton of? Yeah, I think that's something I never AutoCrafted. Like, we can make an assembler for it. Huh. What do you in here need? Yeah. Interesting. I bet I could replace you with the basic electronic circuit, because that's cheaper and easier. That's the phenolic. I don't know if I ever made the basic electronic circuit, though, did I? I don't think I ever made that one, to be honest with you. Advanced circuit parts? Did I teach you that? I mean, we have some. Do we have them on AutoCraft, though? I feel like we might. No, we don't. Okay. How do you make those? Just asking for a friend. Not terrible. I could probably teach that real quick. In the assembler? Yeah, I could totally teach that. A little bit of molten tin. Let's do that real quick. EV assembler, you're coming over here. Okay. So we want these guys. It's 4 per craft, right? And it's 4 CPU central processing units, 4 of each SMD. Yeah. Blue, yellow, orange. 2 fine copper wire and a plastic circuit board. Right? That looks about right. And then 1 molten tin in the EV fluid extractor. Okay. So now if I were to request those advanced circuits times 10, it should craft 4 more of them over here. So let's make sure that it's crafting correctly, because that was a lot of things, and I wouldn't be surprised if I derped it up. Nice. Now we're just waiting on the circuit board, right? Which I think is usually over here. So I think that might have just left and made its way over. Yep, here she comes. And then once it goes into the chest, it'll boop down. Nice. Beautiful. Perfect. All right. And then, boy, do I have no idea. I have no idea where that recipe is. Oh, hey, there you are. I mean, that's that recipe. But yeah, what we want is where this thing's made, which is an assembler. So that would probably be one of you guys, right? Yes. So you can now be replaced with a advanced circuit part. Cool. And then also... what else was I making? Crafting logistics pipes? Yeah. So how are you made? FPGAs maybe? Yeah. Alloy smelter. FPGA recipe. So that would be back here now. That's you. And you could be advanced circuit parts. And then we can say, hey, give me some 6 of you and 6 of you. Perfect. Cool. Lots to do today. So now what I'd like is the stellar alloy cable ×2 recipe and the stellar alloy cable ×4 recipe, both imported. Sweet. All right. Now, by now, my tungsten should be done, which it is. So I put that in there, and we should be able to request our insane voltage battery dude. So we're getting into insane voltage tier, which is going to be fun times, for sure. And you're doing all your stuff? I think you are. Nice. Everybody's doing their job, which I do appreciate seeing. Yeah, look at all the CPU wafers we need, though. All right, let's come back in a minute once all this crafting is good and complete. I'm assuming you've got some work going on down here, right? You are doing some work. You're doing still the tungsten dust, though. So that's good. I've been manually clearing out my tungsten every now and then. Oh, it's hot. Nice. See? I basically just kind of pop it in there, and then when I bring the next stack up, I grab what has been cooling that whole time. Oh, look, you're already done. Wow, that was quick. Sweet. So there's your insane battery voltage thingy. So now, how about Lapitronic energy orbs? So that needs an EV assembler with a lot of things that we might need to add to our crafting system. Insane voltage. Looks like fun. So let's add a crafting card for you, my friend. So you need a Lapitronic energy orb. Lapitronic energy orb. Not a cluster, but an orb. So that's going to need engraved Lapitron crystals times, is that 18? Because of course it is. Yes, 16 fine platinum wire. 4 power ICs. No idea what those are. I don't think we're making any of these. Fiber reinforced circuit board ×1. That one I think we're making, right? We have that on the Autocraft already. And a nano CPU, which I think we also have. And it's only one of those. And then 2 tin in the fluid extractor. And that should be cool. So let's see if you're going to behave. I'm assuming there's a lot that we need to teach and learn how to make. Right? Power ICs and engraved chips. So these two we don't know how to make. So you need a power IC wafer, which is a precision engraver with a glowstone doped wafer or a Naquita doped wafer. I think we should do the Naquita one. But that needs EV tier engravers, right? We should probably make those. And what do you need? You need a laser engraver at HV tier with some kind of bluish colored lens. So let's get an EV tier precision laser engraver. I feel like that would be cool. And then I'm thinking we'll do the Naquita doped wafer would be cool. So EV precision laser engraver. We're missing a laser emitter, which needs 4 platinum rods. Give me 2 platinum ingots. I don't know that we need to make those all that often, so I'm just gonna, you know, make these manually real quick. And then if it turns out that we do need to make them more often, I'll add them to the to-do list over here. Deal? This is one of my few LV only machines still. I never made a better lathe, I don't think, right? We never did even MV tier. I believe that to be the case. It's all good. Okay. Into the rabbit hole we go, folks, because that's how we roll. So you're going to request those things. Everybody's going to behave themselves. I always forget which of these circuits. Is the quantum coprocessor, is that the second version? I think it is. Where's that circuit board thingy? Quantum coprocessor. Yeah, that's the better one to make, right? Because, like, the one on the right is generally more efficient than the one on the left. Like, the one on the left is the first one you get access to, and then the one on the right is the second one you get access to. So, like, this I can't make until I make an IV tier assembler, which we're going to have to make soon, right? So, yeah, the one on the right is the more efficient. So, when in doubt, make this one, and that should be cool. So, you're cooking up just a few more things at the moment. Not bad. Dude, I feel like my auto crafting system really is more solid than it's ever been, which excites me. Because it's, there's definitely been some, like, kinks in the auto crafting system. So having it this stable feels really good. I actually quite enjoy that. All right, so now that you're here, you can make everything else you need for this. And we'll be back in a minute when all that happens. Actually, you know what? This feels like a good wrapping up point. So what we'll do is this thing will all craft. I'll make sure that, you know, as stable as I think my crafting system is, we'll make sure that it truly is. And then we'll come back next episode and get the laser engraver that we need. Do I need 2 or do I need 1? Because you need something bluish. And you need something bluish. So I can use the same for both of these, right? Yeah, I think that is true. I think that is true. So next episode we'll come back, we'll look at making Naquita-doped wafers, right? Which is going to be a blast furnace. EV tier, which we have. 5400 Kelvin, I don't think we're quite at. And argon, right? 5400 Kelvin, I don't think we're quite at, right? Because this guy's 3600. So just for future reference, 5400 is going to be after tungsten steel. It's HSS-G coil. Wow, that's a thing. How do we make this ingot? It's a hot, this kind of dust. It is tungsten steel, chrome, molybdenum, and vanadium dust. That's not so bad. I can probably, yeah, I think I can pull that off. So that might be in our very near future, because if we want to make Naquita-doped, which is going to be your best tier, I believe, and we can kind of see that in this list, because, like, glowstone doped is, like, the next version of monocrystalline, right? But then Naquita-doped is kind of your best tier of circuits. That's going to give you access to some really more efficient ways of making things. So that sounds cool. So for now, Dole20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time and be ready to do more of the advancements into the insane voltage tier of GregTech. I'm pretty excited, and I hope you guys are too. All right, guys, take it easy. Hey, don't you have power here? How do you not have power here? You're an alloy smeltery. Enderium cable. How is there not power here? I was all about to be like, and take it easy, and now I'm like, how is there not power here? Right? This thing has been smelting this whole time. I don't even know. Anyway, take it easy.